Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today is the Basic Crochet Ribbed Family Hat. This is available in 3 sizes, and the sizes that we're going to be concentrating today are listed on the title of this video. What we have today is a pattern overview for all of them, and then the video will divide off into the size that we're going to be concentrating on today. So let's take a look at the pattern first. You will see here that it gives you the number of balls that it takes in order to do these hats. So for the 2 to 4 you have 1 ball, 6 to 10 years of age 1 ball, and adult is 1 ball. So it says with the ball you can see that the colors are here. 4 hats can be made with the 2 to 4 size, 3 hats can be made with the 6 to 10, and 2 hats can be made with the adult. You can also do a pom pom with this that we will also demonstrate today. So what's going to happen in this pattern is as the pattern divides and has you make a choice, you will see that there's a color breakdown. So let's take a look at something like this right over here. In patterns like this, when there's a decision to be made, you will see that it's color coded, especially on yarnspirations.com. So you can see that the sizing is matching here and the colors match. So chain 23, 28, or 32, which one are you going to do? You're not going to do all 3. You're going to do the size that matches. So you can either do the 2 to 4, 6 to 10, or the adult size, just like you see here. So when there's not a decision to be made, there's concrete information. So leaving a 24-inch long end for seaming, then that's for everybody, because this 24 is not been color coded. So on page number 2 really starts the first row, the second row, and etc. And again, as I mentioned, it has the color breakdown. So it says 1 half double crochet in each of the next 15, 19, or 22. Choose the size that you're going to do. What I do if I were me and you or I I don't even know if that made any sense, is that what I would go ahead is that even though it's been color coded, I tend to circle or I highlight with a highlighter which size that I'm going to be doing on, so when I can quickly glance I can just notice my work a lot more easier. So we're going to be working through this, and it is really quite an easy pattern to be able to follow, and we're going to be getting started in just a moment. So if you think you're ready to go, I'm ready. So let's do the size that's been listed in the video tutorial, and it will divide off now. So let's begin. For the adult size hat, I'm going to be using Bernat Softee Chunky tweeds, and this is not as big as the 14 ounce. It's only 10.5, so be aware of that. But I have a now white dog called Puppy Dog, so I decided that I like blue, but I'm thinking of putting this the white that is in the tweed here would make sense, just in case I get dog hair on my hat, which is more than likely in my case. Let's just grab our yarn and 8mm size L crochet hook to play. So we're going to begin and create a large long tail about 24 inches, and you can measure that out or just guess it, and we're going to create a slip knot to begin. I know it's darker yarn. Let me try to get you in a little bit closer here, and let's see what we can get ourselves into today. So we want to chain a total of 32 in this for the size. This is the adult size, so just starts off, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go all the way to 32 for me, and meet me back here in just a moment. So let's start. So I have my 32 on here. Now I've already done the baby size here, so what we're trying to do is that we're trying to get these ridging to match up. So let's begin, and we're gonna go 3rd chain from the hook. So 1, 2, and 3, and turn it over and get the back hump of that and do a half double crochet. And stay on the back hump of the chain. So we're gonna do that one. So it says 1 half double crochet in the 3rd, and then all you're just gonna do then is that you were going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 22. So we'll count those out together. So staying in the back and do 22. So we have 1, 2, 21, and 22. So 22 are now in, and so the remaining then is going to be 7 single crochets in the back hump. So that should take you to the end. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is in the last one. So it's right. So my counts are good. So we're now going to officially start row number 2 and 3. So let's turn our work and do row number 2, and we'll try to be as clear as possible for this because it is darker yarn today. So let's begin. as we do row number 2, this is the row that we want to finish off in the final, so be aware of that. And we're gonna just chain up 1, and we're gonna do the front loops only. So there's 2 strands that make up a stitch. Do you see it? So when you go in and grab the 2, that's a stitch. If you go into the first one that's closest to you, that's a front loop, and the second one that's away from you is the back loop. So starting in the very first one, I want you to put in we're gonna do 7 single crochets in a row starting in the first one. So 7 into the front loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then the remaining of these, going all the way back to the other side, they're going to be a horizontal bar half double crochet. And if you look at this, hopefully you can see it. See the 2 there? That's the stitch. But if you turn it, see this bar right here? Right there? That is the horizontal bar. So wrapping the hook, sliding from the bottom up, that's the horizontal bar. And you will half double crochet in that one, that bar, all the way back. And what this is doing, it's leaving the top stitch to the other side, which gives it a knitted look. And you're just gonna do a half double crochet on the horizontal bar. Now we have the baby size available, the 2 to 4, that is using a lighter colored yarn, just in case you can't see this. For myself, I preferred like navy for a hat, so I really wanted to do a hat that's useful for me, but also I am doing hats for charity as well, so it's great for that as well. So the tweed look is meant to give it that homemade kind of spun feel to it, but obviously machine made at the machine price, but with the homemade kind of look. It's kind of more of a wear and tear idea. City folk tend to like clothing that is really crisp, and country folk are like me. They just kind of like it a very casual, natural look like this. It's up to you. Everybody's unique. So you're gonna come all the way down to the very last one and continuing in the horizontal bar, and that was row number 2. So when you turn it, you'll be able to see the ridge. Do you see it? So row number 3, let's carry on to that, is that we are going to chain 2. It will not count as a stitch, so chain 2, and starting in the horizontal bar right there, so the regular stitch is up here, the horizontal bar is here. You are going to then put in 22, sorry, you're gonna go half double crochet in the first one, okay, and then you're going to do half double crochet in the next 15. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. If I were you and you were me, what I would do is look for the final 7 stitches that are available to you, and those will give you the indication of when you should stop doing that, so you can physically count that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in the final 7, you just want to do a front loop only of single crochet. So that's what I would do instead of obsessively counting those half double crochets. Just look for the final 7 and just count it backward to be able to know where to start. And that will conclude off row number 3. So you're going to repeat rows number 2 and 3 over and over and finish off on row number 2. So when you finish off, this strand will actually be at the brim of your forehead. So turning it around, and you start row number 2 again, so just chain up 1 single crochet in the first 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then I would just do the front post, sorry, the horizontal half double crochet, and I wouldn't even bother to count. If you're pretty slick, if you're slick like me, I would just honestly just go all the way to the end, because you can identify the end probably, and if you want to count it you can too. So there would be a total of 23 of those stitches. So once you're at the bottom, just turn your work. So one side, then let me just back you out and just recap. So one side is going to have the single crochets. There's going to be 7 of those. The other side has that horizontal bar just like you see. And so now you're just going to keep going back and forth in the same formation until you get a total of 19 inches across. So the 19 inches feels like it's going to be a really big distance. It's really not, because once you actually turn one of these hats into a circle, they're really, they can compress. If you like to customize it, what you can do is once you get to a certain size you can try it or wrap it around somebody's head if you would like to customize, just because not everybody's head is the same size. So just go back and forth now doing these rows, and just get to your distance of 19 inches and meet me back here. I'm also gonna put a tip in the next part of this tutorial on how to change the yarn over, just in case you have a knot or that you're going from one ball to the other as well. So I'll give you that tip now, and then I'll see you when I have my 19 inches done. So I'm going to leave a tip for you just in case you're running out of yarn like I did. So I have spare yarn, so this is a great charity project. So if you have like balls that are just partial, you can still use them. You just got to make sure that you're understanding on how to deal with it. So when I'm going to do this with the half double crochet, and you could also do it in the single crochet section here, is that I'm going to wrap the hook, and I want to leave long enough so that I can deal with these tails at the end. So I'm just going to wrap the hook and going in, and I want to just make sure that I have enough tail left over so that I can deal with it. So I can do that one no problem, and I can probably start to do the next one, but I'm going to then switch it for the other yarn. So taking another yarn strand, what I want you to do is just create a loop. Okay, so there's no tie, so you don't see it, and then use that and pull that through. Then what I want you to do is putting both of those strands together, the straggler, just go right up over top of them. So just going into the next stitch, okay, so going into the next stitch, put those two on top, and those will get stuck underneath. Okay, and what we can just do at the end is just deal with it. So you want to work those in for about 2 inches and just leave them hanging out, and we will take a tapestry needle later to be able to weave those in. So that would be my tip instead of just wasting yarn. When I was new to crochet, I thought, you know, everything had to be a fresh ball all the time, but if you know how to do this, then it's awesome. So in the back you can barely see that it's even been done, so once it's in long enough you can deal with it. So let me show you how to deal with those strands now, because this is a kind of a bonus part of the tutorial, because sometimes I assume that you know that. So let's show you how to deal with those. So using a wool needle, it has a larger backing on the end. Do you see it? And just deal with the one strand at a time. So just put it on, and if it does look like it's popping out, make that the inside of the hat. It's just really easy. So you want to go back through the work, but you want to go through somewhere that it's not the same exact path, so that it'll get stuck underneath the stitch work. So I'm just choosing a slightly different path. If you choose the same one, you're just taking everything out. So go across, okay, and don't pull it tight to the point where it's gonna change the shape, and just choose a slightly different path to go back in the other direction, like that. And truthfully, you should go back and forth a total of 3 times. So all of this is getting stuck underneath the hat. And again, if anything pokes out, just make that the inside of the hat so that it's not so obvious. So when you present it to somebody, just make sure that it's the right way. So now that's good. So now you can just safely cut that one out, and then we can do the same thing with the other one, which I will do off camera because it's just the same purpose of going back and forth the total of 3 times. Okay, once you have those secured, you could just keep on moving on in the pattern and you're good to go, and you can't even tell that you really did that. So it's awesome, right? So either side is good. So that's just a little tip for you today. Okay, so now I am done, and I've actually wrapped it around my head to make sure that it is going to fit, and I just want to make sure. So it went about 21 inches for myself, so I have a bigger head, but that doesn't mean there's more in it. So I want to keep an extra long tail here so that I can use this to sew up along the side. We're gonna do a whip stitch. So just pull this strand through all the way, and then we're just gonna roll it over like that, and then we're going to use a tapestry needle and just match stitch to stitch. So let's bring you in a little bit closer here. Okay, so I want to just kind of match stitch to stitch. It should be the same amount of stitches. So just coming through on the other side. This is called a whip stitch. Okay. And what I'm just doing is that I'm going through the one loop on the one side, see that, and then the next loop on the other. So I'm not going through both of the loops. Let me just see if I can get you in there a little closer. There we go. Okay, and I'm just gonna whip stitch. So I'm just gonna match this all the way across to the top of the hat, and then I'll see you there in just a moment. You don't have to see me do all that, and I will be back in just a moment. So I'm coming all the way to the top. I just matched stitch to stitch. I just kind of folded things together so I could get that. And when I get to the top here, what I want to do is that I would just want to tie it so it gets stuck. And I'll deal with this tail later, meaning to hide it in. So once that one's in, we're then gonna grab the other tail that we left when we first started, and I'm just gonna leave this tail here, and then I'm gonna pick up this tail, and all I'm just going to do then is drag it around the outside of the top of the hat, and I'm going to like clothesline it pretty much. So let me just back you out a little bit. So along the outside of the top of this hat, so just kind of weaving it in and out, and I pull it shut all at the same time at the end. So all I'm just doing is kind of threading the outside, and then keep going all the way around. So now that it's all the way back around, just kind of pull on it. So just pull and it will close in the top like that. And then just take in the strand and go the opposite side to where it's coming out. Do you see that? It's coming out there. So coming out here, I want to just close in that top. So that there's pretty much no holes. There's also going to be a pom-pom on this if you wish. Some people, as I mentioned in the other video, some people actually do these craft shows and they provide a pom-pom that's part of the kit, but they don't actually attach it so that people have an option. And it's kind of a neat way to let the creator be the choice. It's hard when you do a craft show and people say, I wish you wouldn't have done this. Well, I've seen people do the pom-poms and they just leave them off to the side and they just put it in a little baggie and stuff. But they have one on display that has it. So once you have it already closed off at the top, just open it up on the inside and slide the needle through to the underside. Okay, so just inside of it. And then on the inside, I know it's kind of hard to see, but all I'm just doing is that I'm tying this so that it ends up on the inside, the strand. And once you're satisfied with it, you can just trim it. Now the other strand that was in there, if you recall, while you're here, you might as well put that through the top down as well. Okay, so wherever it's popping out, just go down in, and again on the inside. So you're just gonna secure this on the inside as well. So I'm going to go to the other tutorial. So I did the baby version already with the pom pom. I'm gonna show you how I made the pom pom. Gonna give you a recommendation on how to attach it so that you can remove it and wash it. This hat if you have to. It's a great option, but if you sew it permanently in there, then pretty much you can't wash the hat really with ease without the pom pom kind of falling apart. So once that's in, you're good to go. And I'm going to do a pom pom for this hat. This is for me. And it's a great way to use up some yarn, and it looks like it's pretty big, but once you roll up the brim like that and then style it and throw on a pom pom, it actually looks pretty cool. And so the easiest way to do a pom pom is to do a pom pom maker. You can also do cardboard, you can also do your fingers. I am not really good at the cardboard or the fingers. I like the pom pom maker. So if you get this one here, you want to open them up. So it's a bit of clamping, and right where the one has an indent on the outside, match it like this. So see that there's an indent here but not here, and then here and not there. So you want to match them to each other, and the indent naturally wants to go with each other. So what you can just do then is that you just want to match. Okay, so now we want to grab our yarn, and we're just gonna wrap around. So once you start this, you can see how it will sandwich together, and you're just gonna wrap. So you're gonna wrap completely one side before jumping to the other, and you'll use the same strand of course. So once you get enough on there, you'll see that it'll just want to naturally fall into position. The wrapping kind of holds everything together. So once I'm satisfied with that, I can just safely just jump over to the next one. So just coming around the outside, just turn it around if it makes it easier for you, and just start wrapping this side. Once both sides look even, what you're just going to do is just shut it. Okay, so open up the clamps and close it, and then close the clamps. So it's getting both sides, and therefore it's good. And now you can just safely cut this yarn. So all we're just going to do, I'm just going to keep this yarn close, and I'm going to slide my scissors in between the two sandwich sections. There's a small gap. Those bumps that I showed you are keeping that from completely closing in on itself. And then we do the other one. Do that strand that also jumped from one side to another. So there, it's good. So now we want to grab that other strand that we were just playing with, and just keep both sides long, and you're just gonna go between the two sections. Like that. And you're going to tie as tight as you can. So it's gonna go down in between, and then I purposely flip it over, and then I come up and tie again. And then once I do that, I then flip it over again and tie. And this time I will go down and I will tie one more time. So these two long strands now become the tying to the hat itself, and so now you can just safely open up your clamps and release that ball. So now all you just got to do is fluff it up and then give it a bit of a trim to shape. Okay, so cut off anything that looks like it doesn't belong. And then once you're satisfied with this, just give it a bit of a shake, and then I'm gonna show you how to tie it to the hat so that if you give it to somebody and they want to wash this hat, they can remove this. So make sure that you don't sew it so it's part of the hat permanently. So back to the hat we go. Obviously you're probably gonna give this away with the hat or the pom-pom attached. Some people actually sell their hats in a boutique like at a craft show without the pom-pom attached, but provide the pom-pom as an extra, just as an extra perk. So you can just put the one strand down through the hat and just pull it to the inside. I'm just using a smaller hook, and then coming to the opposite side of the topping, grab the other strand and pull it down and to the inside of the hat. So you will have two strands then coming out. So just pull it so that it will sit on top. Now this side here, what we want to do is just tie it into a bow tie, and therefore that bow tie can then be used to take it off if you have to. So just trim this so that those long strands don't fall out of the hat. So it gives somebody an option to be able to take that off and then just put it back on if they would like to wash. So this would then conclude on how to do the pom-pom to the top of the hat.